exactly what she's saying.
Is that transphobic to you?
So, to me, no. Stating that sex is real is not transphobic. It's just a fact of life. It exists.
So is there anything you disagree with in that tweet?
Uh, in that tweet,
This dude is just unraveling. Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. It's John for John Out the World, and today I'm reacting to this ingenious professor who actually has a conversation with a liberal student for calling JK Rowling and her beliefs bigoted. And so I've had so many encounters even since 2017, 16 when Trump was elected, where there's so many of my liberal student peers, leftist peers, and I was part of a student leadership organization at Michigan State in my undergrad years, and essentially a lot of groupthink, a lot of liberal leftist groupthink happened where people just kind of use the same types of catchphrases. This person's bigoted, this person's transphobic, this person's a TERF, right? And that they're racist. So all these different types of labels and name calling were in the place of actual arguments for a certain position. So if you could just label someone as evil,
otherwise known as evil,
then the argument, the conversation stops and no one can say a word. So it's amazing what you're about to see. Please check it out and make sure you like and subscribe so that we can push these videos forward.
So these guys want to talk about JK Rowling? Is that so? What's going on with that? What do you want to know?
she's had a pretty controversial past. I just want to know, like, what are your thoughts on it? And, like, do you still like her work despite her bigoted opinions?
So let's get specific though. Let's define bigoted opinions. What opinions are bigoted?
All right. So right away, the student says her opinions are bigoted and that she has a problematic past. So what exactly is so problematic? Well, she's been labeled a TERF, so a trans exclusionary feminist, radical feminist. And basically it's a diatribe. It's like a name for people that don't agree with the trans movement, people who believe that women are women, biological women are women, and that biological men are men. And so today we have this farce, this lunacy of a argument that somehow if you just change your name, you change your social attire, you put on a wig or put on some makeup, that you can just change your gender. And so along with JK Rowling, you have Piers Morgan and other commentators who are just like, no, Douglas Murray, Jordan Peterson, who are like, no, you can't force speech in this way to create your own reality. I think what this guy does is that he actually opens up the conversation, as you see here.
We're going to treat this as a thought experiment. I'm not going to say what's right or wrong or what way to think. The whole point is to learn how to think, not what to think.
Yeah.
So when you say bigot, you're starting with the conclusion that given her bigoted opinions.
Yeah.
So first, let's start with, does she have bigoted opinions? So when you say bigoted opinions,
She has had a history of being extremely transphobic, I've heard.
hey, you've heard. So what? Can you give me an example?
If you look at her Twitter, I think you could see a few things. If you want, I could try and find
see
something.
See if you can find one.
So, one of these tweets that she came out with in 2019, she said, "Dress however you please, call yourself whatever you like, sleep with any consenting adult who will have you live your best life in peace and security, but force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real."
So you find that bigoted? What do you find about
It was
in there?
It was deemed transphobic. I myself,
Do you find that transphobic yourself?
I don't really have an opinion on it, but I'm just going with what.
All right, now hold up. So this guy is saying, I don't have an opinion about it. Do you know why? He just said that this opinion, right, of JK Rowling, his opinion of JK Rowling is that she has held problematic or bigoted thoughts in the past. I've heard this over and over again. Whenever I ask, oh, what don't you like about this conservative, or not even conservative, but liberal, such as Jordan Peterson? He was never conservative. He was a liberal professor. Why don't you like Jordan Peterson? And whenever I ask these people, well, he's a fascist. He doesn't believe in trans rights. And I'm like, but what are those rights? Every individual in America has certain rights. What are those trans rights? To be supported in their transition? Well, I don't think that everybody should be. I don't think that necessarily every trans person wants to have surgery or be entertained by these neo pronouns. So we have these very broad ideas of what should be okay in the liberal sense, in the leftist propaganda sense. But this person doesn't even know, like, why is it offensive to him? He doesn't even believe in it. He has heard it through a game of telephone that this person is problematic. And so it's spread not necessarily through critical thinking. It's more so because of social influence and peer pressure.
A lot of other people have said.
So let's pause it. Let's not go with what other people are saying. Let's try and learn how to critically think. So let's analyze the tweet ourselves. So that statement, do you see anything problematic? Disregarding other people's opinions.
She did try and pin some things on a specific group of people.
Where does she do that? Can you read that?
But force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real.
So when I hear that, I'm interpreting that as meaning if a woman says that, saying that there's a difference between men and female and then being attacked as transphobic, I think that's what she's saying by attacking someone for stating that sex is real.
That is exactly what she's saying.
Is that transphobic to you?
So, to me, no. Stating that sex is real is not transphobic. It's just a fact of
Beautiful.
life. It exists.
Beautiful.
So is there anything you disagree with in that tweet?
In that tweet, I can't really see anything that I myself disagree with, but
Literally a minute or so in, this dude is just unraveling, right? He doesn't actually believe truly that this statement, JK Rowling is a transphobe or bigoted, holds any weight, any water, because he's actually thought through what she has said.
But I can see why some people would think, oh, this is offensive. We can't have that here or something, because
Sure.
There's an apology tweet.
Let's read that. What did she say there? I haven't read that.
I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic and comfortable to them. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being trans. At the same time, my life has been shaped by being female. I do not believe it is hateful to say so.
You see anything problematic there?
She's apologizing, so no, not really. If I could read it again.
It sounds like a very similar statement as what she was just saying. She's basically saying, like, I have nothing, to me, this is what I interpret as, I have nothing against someone being trans.
Exactly.
It's your life, but you just don't get to impose on you can live how you want, I can live how I want.
Yeah.
And let's all,
Exactly.
So I guess now that we're looking at it like, oh, there's not much difference between me or her, do you think it's fair that that she's being attacked by a large group of people and people are calling her, like you said at the beginning of this conversation, you said, given the fact that JK Rowling is transphobic, how do you feel about Harry Potter? Now, retroactively looking at that statement, do you think that was the best way to phrase?
No, I feel like an idiot now.
You just have to ask people questions about what evidence do you have to say that this person is a bigot or racist or transphobic? And then their arguments start to fall apart because their arguments are based on what other people have said. And so there's a lot of social pressure. And you see this in Marxism all the time in politics. There's this type of Stalinism where people are kind of pressured. This is the fact. The propaganda, the indoctrination we see on the university level is profound.
I am not in a cult.
I actually went through it myself. I was like, something's off about this whole trans debate. There's not even a debate. We just kind of go along with it because we think that's the same thing as being black, as being gay. And I don't even think being gay and black are the same thing. And so we just ridden this wave of let's be progressive, let's stand up for the minority. But to assume this minority rule, not all minorities are equal, okay? You can be a criminal minority. Doesn't mean that I'm going to treat you the same because criminals need to do their time. Because I believe that we have actually made progress and we're doing away with actual progress by focusing so much on these group characteristics, right? These group characteristics and doing away with the individual. So this guy, Warren Smith, does an excellent job on just basically using common sense, right? Common sense is not taught in schools anymore. They're doing away with math, they're doing away with English literature, history, and so they're dumbing down our kids. And social media, is a problem. And then us dwindling down on our faculties of being able to have cogent and good arguments, critical thinking, is going to basically shrink our areas of social cohesion. Like, we can't actually get along with people anymore because we can't actually reason with people anymore. Make sure you let me know what you think about this, because I think we need more people like Warren Smith talking about these things and actually speaking up. I'm tired of it. I was a liberal. I was progressive to many lengths before I went to college, and then college just scared me out of the liberal left. Do what you want with your life, but at the same time, I think that there are bad ideas that you hold. I will speak out against it, and I think we need to too. So make sure you subscribe if you believe in free thought and being anti-woke, because wokeism is a disease. I truly believe it. I've seen it firsthand, and there's not much you can do about it. Just burn it away, burn it to the ground. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and share this video and share this talk about Warren Smith and his student with somebody else who may need to be able to be deprogrammed. Thanks, guys.